Hello and welcome to Biz Buzz with Bruno, presented by Mads Theater. Today I'm very happy to announce that we have Rotate Theater with the lovely Sira?
Yes.
Palazzi.
Yes.
And Paisan from all the way from Italy, all the way from Mads to talk to us about Rotate. Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome.
So talk to me a little bit about your background and who you are so we can get to know you.
Yes. So I as you said, I'm Sira Palazzi. I grew up in rural southwest Wisconsin, in the Driftless area. I grew up in the country outside of Mineral Point, and so I got to grow up performing there. A beautiful place to grow up. Then I went to UW-Madison and did my undergrad as an acting specialist in the theater program there. And then I also did certificates in gender studies and environmental studies. And then I went to Chicago and worked there in storefront theater and independent film for about 15 years. And a couple years ago, I got to come back here to Madison. So I am happy to be back working in theater here and working with Rotate Theater Company.
And were you a child actress? Did you do the kids' theater?
I have been performing as long as I can remember. I was in a dance class when I was just tiny, and I started in musicals as a very little. We have some photos of me when I was maybe 4 or 5. So yes, I was lucky to be performing as a kid growing up doing that.
And tell us how you got involved with Rotate Theater, because it actually has gone through a couple of different changes as the company, right?
Yeah, so a number of us in the ensemble actually met in Wisconsin, working in theater and film here, and then moved to Chicago, met a lot of other great artists there, started putting a company together, and so then we started working more formally as a company in Chicago, did a lot of shows there. And then a couple years ago, there were lots of changes kind of going on for our ensemble members, a lot of the people we were working with, a lot of the collaborators we were working with, and we decided it was time to make some changes. So we came back, we moved our headquarters back to Madison. For me personally, also, I was wanting to spend a little bit of time in academia again, having some dedicated time to really dig into thinking about theater practices and thinking about things like accessibility and sustainability in theater practices. So I came back here and did a grad program here at UW-Madison. Some of the other ensemble members decided to come up to Madison as well, and we're all very happy to be back here.
And how do you select the ensemble? Do people audition is it like a company people that audition on a regular basis?
So we bring in people who we've worked with a lot and get to know, and we have auditions for our productions, and then we always hope that a lot of those people who come onto one show become frequent collaborators and join us for more and more work, and so that we can have that really nice collaborative kind of energy.
And then do you do it in different venues for each project?
Yeah, so our upcoming production, which is called Rotate Theater Mini Fest, we are performing at the Starlight Theater at the My Arts Space, which is just a beautiful theater.
Gorgeous, just gorgeous.
Yeah, and so we're very lucky to be performing there. So we're a company that does different productions in different locations.
And is that how the name came to be? Because you rotate venues?
The name came to be, we want to be always reminding ourselves to be trying to rotate, to look at other perspectives, to try to remind ourselves to not just look the way that we're looking at the moment, but to keep rotating, to keep looking, and keep trying to learn from other perspectives. So that's where that came from.
And do you do all original work?
No, but we do a lot of original work. So we do a lot of new plays. So Rotate Theater Mini Fest has 3 plays that are world premiere. So it's a short play festival. And 3 of the plays are brand new world premiere plays that were workshopped over the past year. And then the other plays are some of our favorite short plays from previous festivals that we performed other places, but haven't had a chance to perform in Madison yet. So that's where those shows are coming from. And then our other production, we produce plays and musicals and festivals and other kinds of arts events like workshops and things like that. And very often we're doing contemporary works and often world premieres.
And are any of your ensemble members writers and playwrights as well, or are they all strictly acting?
Yeah, so we, a lot of us wear a lot of different hats in theater, and that's something that we also really like to open up possibilities for people who maybe are specialists in one area to try to offer ways to get involved in other areas of theater as well. Our workshops especially do that. Our writing workshops, for instance, the way that we set up the activities, we hope that people coming from a lot of different places will be able to engage in the different activities in different ways and to try their hand at playwriting, whether they've been doing it for years and years or if they're brand new and let's say they have experience in acting. Well, we set up activities so that acting skills could be used, or let's say they have maybe even outside of theater, maybe they have experience in other arts that we hope that we can kind of bring in different kinds of activities so that people have more opportunities to try to use their art and their expression in different ways.
So where do you hold your workshops at usually?
So we have attached to Rotate Theater Mini Fest, we have our main stage performances on June 10th and 11th. And then on June 15th, we're actually doing a mini 2-hour workshop, playwriting workshop, right at My Arts in one of their studios there. And that workshop is free, it's open to the public, and it will have a lot of those different kinds of fun activities. We'll just show kind of tastes of some different activities. And so that one will be at My Arts. We've also done some virtual series, especially, during the pandemic, but even before the pandemic, because we do have ensemble members in a couple other places as well. We were already utilizing the virtual platform for writing workshops.
And who are some of the other people involved in the company now?
So as we head into Rotate Theater Mini Fest, myself, Richard Perro, and Brian Eve Pouch are very involved in a lot of aspects of that production. We're all on the directing team, and we're all taking on different parts of producing. So the three of us are definitely kind of key members of this production, and then we are lucky to have so many other collaborators we're working with. I think it's like 25 or 30 other people, and some of those folks we've never worked with before. They came to audition, they were great, so we're getting to work with brand new people. And then another of our ensemble members, Ashley Baggett, is in Chicago, and so she's coming up to do rehearsals here from time to time, and so she'll be involved in the production as well. So we have lots of different folks involved.
And is Rotate a not-for-profit?
It is, yep. Mm-hmm.
So do you have like a board of directors and all the things that come with all the wonderful things that you have to do to be a nonprofit?
Yeah. So we're a nonprofit. We worked for many years without kind of the formal nonprofit, and we maintain a lot of that scrappiness of a small group that is doing something we're passionate about, and so we do have all of those things, but we're keeping ourselves pretty focused on what we love to do.
And do you have like a target audience, or is it a broad spectrum of like everybody from kids up to like seniors would enjoy your productions?
Yeah, so Rotate Theater Mini Fest is designed for adult audiences. We certainly welcome kids to come along with some sort of supervisor, as long as the kids are comfortable with. We do have quite a bit of mature language and humor and things like that. So a kid who is comfortable with such things would be welcome to come.
Theater kids.
Yeah, theater kids. There you go, theater kids. Since our festival is focused on underrepresented perspectives on whose stories are worth telling, what's funny, and how the world works, I think a lot of different people can see themselves in our pieces, and especially in a short play festival like this, where we have 9 different plays, and so we have different genres and deal with different topics and a lot of different types of humor. So I think that a lot of folks would really enjoy this festival, and I think something we've often heard at past festivals is that audience members will say that they really enjoyed seeing people like themselves on stage, or they enjoyed seeing people they hadn't seen on stage as much before. And so I think that is something we hope that we're able to do, is bring more stories to the stage that maybe don't get as much attention in things like mainstream media.
And how do you go about selecting which shows you're going to do? That must be an awful time-consuming process of deciding which ones you're going to put in, which ones you maybe want to put in, which is like, no, not this time.
Yeah, that is, yes, it's such a huge process to do that. And so many pieces. You have to get all the pieces all lined up. In the past, so we did an annual theater festival when we were in Chicago, where we would put out a call for we'd put out a call for plays, and we'd have this reading process and this whole process to get them that way, and we would always the call would ask for folks to put a specific name in the title of the piece. And so each year we would select a different name. So there were the Zoe plays, the Ava plays, the Ella plays. And we would often select names that are usually associated with women, hoping that would increase the number of plays being written about women. And so that's how we did it for many years for that festival. And then for this festival, we knew we wanted to bring some of those plays back. And so, we all made our lists of all of our favorite plays. And of course, it was so long. And so then we had to just, it's kind of a puzzle piece kind of activity, trying to figure out which shows made sense together, which shows made sense in this moment. We had to read them all through again. We read them out loud. And that was really interesting, seeing how some of the plays from, let's say 10 years ago, how they read today in this moment in time, and what things really pop out in a different way now than they did then. So it was just a big process of reading the plays and lining them up and figuring out what would make a really nice overall evening.
And could you give us a taste of like what some of the plays are about for this play festival?
Yeah. So so we have so many different ones. So we have a lot of the shows use humor to deal with different topics, like a lot of our shows. It's so hard to just pick. There's 9 of them. It's hard to pick one. So. Many of our shows deal with things like gender or sexuality or race or class, and kind of poke at our assumptions we're making about those things, and often use humor to kind of do so. But we also have some dramas that are more, like a more relationship kind of drama. We have a horror play, which is really fun, and that play is great. It involves both like humor and horror, and at the same time it's really making a lot of really kind of profound statements about class and women's work, and so making these important points while at the same time in this like fun horror show. And that one, the author is named Wimoto, and she's just very cool. You can find stuff about her many places. One of her things is she has a podcast. I'm going to forget it. Well, anyway, we'll look it up. Yeah, we'll look it up. Well, Google it. But anyway, the play is called Ella's Children, and it takes place in a daycare. And it's the morning, and the daycare gets going, and you see the different characters all of a sudden realize something is off with the children, and things ensue from there.
Horror ensues.
Yes, horror ensues. Yeah.
And are they all one act? Did they run approximately the same amount of time, or is it a bit wide difference between?
Yeah, the shortest one is maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and the longest one is maybe 15, 16. So yeah, in there.
And did I say Nick Caprellian is in your cast?
Yes.
We love Nick Caprellian. Yeah. Hi, Nick. I've worked with Nick many times. Really, as an actor and as a friend, he's really, really wonderful.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah,
so
he's in...
Which one is he in?
So he is in a piece so one of the pieces he's in is called Bleeding Heart, and it is by a Danish playwright. And it has it's a very stylized show, and so if you're interested in Nordic theater, it has that style going for it. The Bree Pouch is directing that one, and she has a lot of experience working on Nordic theater for American audiences.
So tell me a little bit about Nordic theater. People don't have any idea what that is.
Yeah. I'm not an expert in it, so I'm not good to talk about it. But I will say, Google it. I will say, it has. You'll notice different pacing. And there's just kind of a different style to it. The humor is very different. It's often a very dark humor. So anyway, and come see it. Find
there
out.
You go.
But yeah,
sell those tickets.
Yeah, so he's in that piece, and it's about a group of scientists who they were supposed to solve climate change. They failed, and now they're in this moment of, are they going to get on this ship and fly away from Earth? And so anyway, that piece is a heavier piece, obviously, but also in this really very interesting style. So yeah, if you're at all interested in seeing Nordic style theater, that's one to check out. And then Nick is also in a show called 3 Cheers for Ava, and it is just a hilarious comedy. It's about these 3 ridiculous characters, these 3 friends, and they are planning to end their relationship with their 4th friend, and you see them talking about this because she's just too great and she's ruining all of their lives. And it's just this really, really fun, really comedic show that also is talking about things like class and entitlement and colonization and things like that. So these important things are in there. They're intermixed in it. If you want to go back and think more about it later, but in the moment, it's this very farcical comedy about these friends plotting about their other friend.
And it's 3 shows over 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. So we have performances on June 10th at 4:30 and 7:30, and then June 11th at 1:30. And it's the same program. Those 9 plays are. It's that same program. All 3 performances. Yeah.
And tickets are available now?
Yes, tickets are available now. You can go to rotatetheater.org, and the ticketing link is right there. We have $25 standard tickets. We have $5 access tickets, and then we have $50 treat your neighbor tickets. And of course, those help us offer those $5 access tickets. And those are on sale. Yeah.
And what is the criteria for the $5 access ticket?
There is no criteria.
Okay.
They're all available to everyone. So whatever ticket level is appropriate for you is the one that we want you to select.
Excellent. And are they available at the door as well?
Yes, they will also be available at the door starting 60 minutes before showtime.
And how many people does the auditorium seat? Approximately.
I want to say about 300.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you have to fill it up.
Yeah, we got to fill it up. Yeah. So people got to get those tickets.
So is there anything that we haven't covered that you want to make sure that we talk about?
Oh, I don't think so. I think we covered a lot of good stuff. So.
And where do you see Rotate going into the future after they get done with this particular production?
Yeah. So we like to spend a lot of time in development as we prepare for new projects, especially because we do so much contemporary and new work. So we will be going into more of a development mode directly following this production. So you're going to see some more workshops and things, and we open a lot of those workshops up to the public to come and join us and bring more ideas into the mix.
And the website is rotatetheater.com or .org?
.org, but I think we have .com too. Oh. Either way, you're gonna find us. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, it sounds wonderful, and I'm so thrilled to meet you, and I really look forward to seeing the show, and much success. And really, go and see the show. It sounds fascinating. Thank you for being here today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And we'll see you next time.